We had a question that came in, and they want to know what is the spiritual meaning of the holiday itself with respect to individual spiritual growth and development.
It's a very big question. It's very simply, if you have to break it down to like what's the oil, what's the light that comes down on Pesach night, what's the avodah. So every Yom Tov, every holiday has a very particular thing, a particular quality. Rosh Hashanah is a time of judgment, Yom Kippur is a time of tshuva, and Purim is a time of joy. The quality of Pesach is godless. Godless means greatness. What this means is like this. Normally the process of movement is we work, first you do sur merah, then you do v'aseh tov. First you get rid of the negative. It's like if you want to fill up a cup with some beautiful jewelry or with a good drink. So first you have to clean out the cup, make sure it's not dirty, and then you fill the cup with something that's positive. So first you get rid of the negative, and then you bring in the thing that is positive. Pesach represents a different quality. Pesach, it says that Klal Yisrael, the people of Israel in that state, were halal avodah zarah, halal avodah zarah. They were steeped in idol worship. They were on the 49th level of tumah, of impurity, which means they were spiritually in a very, very immature state. Like the Ari and all the Chassidish speak about this idea, they were in a state of like a child, like an infant. Their spirituality was not developed at all. Today you're leaving Mitzrayim, right? Leave Mitzrayim in the month of Aviv, the month of spring. Represents the idea of the springtime. Represents the world is dormant, it's cold, it's darker, and all of a sudden there's the gift of spring, which means that Hashem took Klal Yisrael b'koshres. Hashem took us out. Hashem took us out in the kosher time, in the correct time. The correct time that Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim was that even though we were stuck in a situation that it's cold and it's dark and a person is steeped in the 49 levels of tumah and insecurity and doubt and uncertainty and not connection and maybe even idol worship, in not a very good place, Hashem said, I'm going to take these people out and gift them greatness. Physical greatness, they're going to become princesses and princes. I'm going to give them the physical greatness with riches, and I'm going to give them spiritual greatness. They're going to experience spiritual greatness. A few days later, they're going to experience what the greatest prophets experienced throughout time. Even a shifcha layam, even the basic, simple person was able to see the highest level of prophecy. Hashem says, I'm going to give them now the gift of what's called gadlus rishon, first greatness. That's the night of Pesach. So the mindset of a person when we start the Seder, we have to think Kaddish. The first thing that a person has to do is Kaddish. Kaddish means holy. You start from a state of holy. Usually the order would be Urchatz and Kaddish. Urchatz means you clean your hands, you get rid of the negative, and then Kaddish, then you're ready to do Kiddush. Then you're ready to sanctify. Versus the negative, you get rid of the negative and the positive. But on Pesach night, no, we start with Kaddish. Everyone starts with Kaddish. There's an Ashkenaz custom, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but there's an Ashkenaz custom that in Ashkenaz, certain people that follow the Ashkenaz customs, even today, they wash their hands before they make Kiddush Friday night. First they wash their hands and they make Kiddush. But on Pesach night, everyone starts with Kiddush. Everyone starts with Kiddush. What does it mean? We start with Kiddush. We start with a place of Kiddusha. We're holy. We're present. And Hashem gives us the gift of greatness, expansiveness, higher level of spirituality. Some people have the custom even to sit with a kittel, to sit with the white garments, representing, like the Maharal writes, representing the Kohen Gadol, the high priest on Yom Kippur. You're sitting like in the Beis HaMikdash, in Kodesh HaKadoshim, you're having a meal in the Holy of Holies, you're the high priest, you're eating in the presence of Hashem. That's the mindset of a person has to enter on Pesach night. And then from the Gadlus, we work into Katmos, which is like the place of questions. All of a sudden we start with Naschila B'Gnus. We start with all the negativity. We start that we were in Egypt and we were pagan worshippers, and we start developing the narrative so we can get to a higher level of Gadlus, which then will happen when we eat the matzah and then further on. But the first state, the first perspective, the way we have to enter into Pesach, is that everything that we've done before Pesach is one thing, and now Pesach night comes, and we're free. We're free. We're free. We're free from our physical limitations. We're free from our emotional limitations. We're free from our mental limitations. We're free from our spiritual limitations. We're in a state of high level of living, very high, level of Yechidah Shebenefesh. That's on the highest level of soul capacity. That's what we start to say there. And that's the mindset that we have to enter into Pesach. Pesach is a gift. Pesach in the Torah is called Shabbos. Pesach is called B'machras HaShabbos, and the day after Shabbos you should count the Omer. And the famous question that Stukim said, that Shabbos is how could you call Pesach Shabbos? Shabbos is the seventh day of the week. But we said no, that Shabbos is actually Pesach. Pesach in the Torah is called Shabbos. What's the difference in Shabbos, generally, Shabbos and all the holidays, and Yom Tov? Shabbos is Mekadshe V'Kaimai. Shabbos is a sanctity, is a holiness that comes on its own. Yom Tov is Mekadesh Yisrael V'Azmanim. Yom Tov is that Israel creates the sanctity. We have to count time, and according to the time, we decide when the new moon is being shown. We don't decide when the new moon, but we sanctify the new moon. Accordingly, we know when the 15th day of the month is, when the Yom Tov will fall out. But Pesach is not like that. Pesach is Shabbos. The sanctity of Pesach is that is given to us. We come to the Seder night. You're like the high priest. You're like a king on the highest level of your abilities. And Hashem gives us that gift. Now, of course, it doesn't mean that you're going to live that way, and maybe tomorrow you're going to have a lot of katnos, and specifically you will have katnos because you can't live on that level because you haven't yet reached it really. And that's the avodah, that's the work that we have to do between Pesach and Shavuos to get to the place where the gadlos will become more integrated and more real to us. But on Pesach night, that's the gift that we get. Everyone gets this.